praise for a time like this. We thank you for the of salvation. We thank you for putting this insight into the. Father, we ask that even as we discuss, you grant us the expectation with an open heart to receive what you have for us in the name of Jesus. We decree and declare that this will be the least that would be as musicians, for we pray in Jesus' name. Can you celebrate yourself one more time in this house? Yeah. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here. Pastor A.D. Funk, I celebrate you, sir. Broshayo, I celebrate you. And to every drummer in the house, I celebrate you. Check. To every musician, I celebrate you. So first thing I would like to do, I like to celebrate the young persons over there. I don't know if you guys are drummers, but I think we should celebrate them. I think we should celebrate them. It's very, very important. And if I were Seun and Sam, I think I'll probably pay more attention to them than the adults here, because you see a lot of videos. This mic is failing sound. You see a lot of videos with young persons with what they are doing, and you can tell what they would be doing in the next 10 years. So it's important that the legacy that we leave begin with the young one. There is a young boy in my church. His name is Fortune. He's my pastor's son. And anytime you come around on Thursdays, you see him on the drums, and he plays as I won't say he plays as well as an advanced drummer. But what's the major job of the drummer? Keep the groove. Set time, rhythm, set pace. He does that, and for me, that's okay. So it's very important to pay. How did my time jump to 16 minutes? Is this House on the Rock media or Drums Hangout media? Or Drummers Hangout media? From 20 minutes. All right, so can we celebrate ourselves one more time? All right, can I have my slide, please, to media? Seun and Sam, it would be also nice if you're in the auditorium. I think it would encourage people that their hosts are seated, because a lot of times we plan programs and we don't even of those programs, right? So, at times we plan programs and the programs are actually supposed to be for us. Some of us are supposed to learn. So I think it's quite important. All right, so basically I'll be, so I celebrate you guys. I love you guys. Hello, hi, hello. Well done. I don't know if you're actually drummers or you just came to see the lights and all. I know Olamide and Opemipo are drummers. So, yeah, it's good to have you guys. I'll be very brief. But I'd like to, I already talked about the drummer's job. And, first of all, first disclaimer, I'm not a drummer, I'm a musician. All right. Who knows a bit of every instrument? But personally, I believe that, to be a drummer, you first have to be a musician. All right. So it's first about the music and not your instruments, because you cannot play your instrument without accompanying the music, all right? Except you just want to be a solo musician, a solo instrumentalist, which you're still going to need some elements of stem. And is this not too deep sound? And and backtrack to complement what you're doing. All right, so let's go. So what's the drummer's job? I already talked about that. Let's go, media. And then I wrote here that every time you play, always remember that your overall job is to support, promise, come up, is to support and make other musicians feel good and comfortable bringing out the best ideas. Now, the first thing that you need to realize as a drummer or as a musician is that you're not playing as an individual who wants to be heard alone. It means that your basic job is first accompaniment. Okay, let's do a short review. How many drummers are in the house, so that I know who I'm speaking to and I know how to channel my talk? If you're a drummer in the house, could you just wave your hands? Of course, I know this side, these people are senior drummers. I'm not even looking here, so this side, okay. These people can actually school me, so please pardon me if I say something that is not totally. All right, the kids, are you a drummer or an intending drummer? Okay, when we say drummer, drums is not only the kits that you see here. It could be some other variations of percussions, the bongos, the claves, the talking drums, the shekere. I think we can categorize that under percussive, sir. Right, okay, yeah, so if you're gifted in akuba, conga, you're a drummer, all right? So that's fine. All right, so that being said, the drums, they say, let's go, media. The drums, they say, are the heartbeat of the band. It's the pulse, genuinely the foundation, and across any genre. The drummer is saddled with the responsibility of timekeeping, holding the band together, being that foundation, that base where everyone can lock in. You know, a lot of times, I'm not being religious, but I wonder how churches where they do not use drum, how they get to keep to pace, how they get to keep to time. I know that it's 2022 and a lot of them have some other improvisations, such as the drums not being played live, but being played on the keyboard or a backing track or a loop. So the first thing is that you need to really understand why you do what you do. I mean, why am I the drummer? What is my first? It is fine to know chops, to know fills, to know rules and all of that. The paradiddles, the 16s, the 32s and all of that. But your first basic job as a drummer is to keep the time, is to keep the rhythm and to keep the groove. Once you start doing any other thing outside of those things, what you're doing has become secondary and no longer primary. All right? My job as a pianist is to play the chords. I might have an understanding of scales, of runs, of cascading waterfalls, of licks, of fills and all of that. But my first basic chord is what Promise is doing right now. He's playing and he's playing with emotion. So when you sit on the drums, your basic job, your first thing to do is to keep to time. Once you're not keeping time, every other thing that you're doing is noise. Let me say that, because a lot of times we need to balance and differentiate between what we call music and what we call noise. My time is running, and then I'll go to my point 2. Media, let's go. Yeah. All right, so drummers are mainly responsible for rhythm and groove, but beyond that, you can and should understand lyrics, chords, melodies, and harmonies. Yes, you need to know almost same things as the other musicians because it helps you to approach and interpret the music more properly. You can tell what's coming up next and where it's going. I know we're all responsible for the general music accompaniment, but a drummer can very much help to control the direction of a song and how it goes, the mood and the dynamics. The drummer can demand if everyone should play softer or louder, break or even when to end, but they have to be in tune with everyone on the team. I'll explain. You see, as a drummer, a lot of drummers do not understand the power that they carry as a drummer when it comes to pace, when it comes to rhythm, when it comes to consistency, when it comes to taking the lead. Now, it amazes me when we're going to do a song. And then, you see, I believe that every drummer should understand what you call song structure, song arrangement. For example, we're doing For Your Glory by Tasha Cobbs. Now, it doesn't matter that the fact that you're not playing the chords, you should not understand, you may not, your understanding may be limited because what you deal with is percussion. So you need to have a theoretical knowledge. I mean a theoretical knowledge. Now, what are the theoretical knowledges? Now, you need to understand basic chords. So I believe that if I'm talking to a drummer and I say we are opening on chord 4. Now, I know opening is a term we use in drum, and it simply means that we stop playing the basic rhythm of the drums and we start to use more of our cymbals. I don't know if I'm correct, but that's the layman way that I will explain what it means to open. All right, so I think the likes of them, Todd Dulaney and James Fortune and all of them really made that popular in contemporary music. Now, so when we take a song and we say For Your Glory, now as a drummer, there is nothing that stops you from having a note. I know that you may not be able to punctuate and classically write the conventional way like the pianist would write, or like the bass drummer would write, or the bass player rather, or the guitar player. But then you can say that, okay, now this song has a round of an intro whereby the drummer starts with a 4-bar count, a 4-bar intro, and then the band comes in. Then it starts with the verse, and after the verse, it goes to the chorus. Oh, there is a break on a part of the chorus at so point. So you cannot just be speaking with me as a fellow musician and you say that we will break when it gets to the part where they do this. What do they call that part? So the fact that what you play is percussion does not mean that you should not understand the terms that cover the umbrella of music. All right, so when they play the La chord, even if you don't know the name, you should understand when a chord substitution is done, because there is a likelihood that if a song progresses from the verse to the chorus and it goes to the bridge, the pattern changes. How do I know? I'll give you an example. Now, there are two basic genres of gospel music. All right, when I say gospel now, permit me to say Christian. All right, so now you have contemporary Christian music, you have contemporary gospel music, the CGM and the CCM. You find out that a lot of times the rhythm that is played on the verse is different from the rhythm that is played on the chorus, and it's also different from the rhythm that is played on the bridge or on the vamp. So a drummer should be able to tell
why is the rhythm different at so points? Are they playing to emotions? Are they playing to lyrics? Or are they playing to song structure? And song structure means that you need to understand what a vamp is. You need to understand what a hook is. You need to understand what a bridge is. You need to understand what a verse is. You need to understand what a chorus is. Alright? My time is 20 minutes going like this. Alright, I'll go to my number 2 point. Media, let's go. And I'll talk about music technology. Now you see, we're in 2022. And I'm saying this with all of my heart. If you're a drummer here and you do not know how to make loops, you will have a very, very strong challenge if you're seeking global relevance. And I'll tell you why. One of my best friends musically is IT6. A lot of us know him. Now, IT6 came around to Oshobo in I can't remember if it was 2017 or 2018, and we're working on a project. It was titled Majesty. It was a live recording, and I discovered that IT6, being a drummer, had a perfect knowledge and a perfect understanding of creating steps. Now, I'm not saying that every drummer should become a producer. That's not what I'm saying. But basic loops, take your shakers and put a clav and put a snap on it. Every drummer should be able to do that. Every drummer should be exposed to the modern day technology, just the same way you're exposed to your drum machine, your octapad, and all of that too. So it means that, because in most settings, okay, I'll give you an example. I think I Proclaim by Dunsin Oyekon was arranged by Calvin Rogers. That's a drummer. Alright, so that's a drummer. You have bands, Jalen Moore. They know how to use doors. So do not be limited by your environment, or don't think that it is the job of the keyboard player to direct the band. A drummer can as well direct a band. It has nothing to do with the instrument you play. It is your understanding and your exposure. I needed to do that. And it is your exposure to music. So if you're a drummer in this house today and you have not started doing that, I'm not saying that it's a crime that you do not know how to do it, but I'm saying that if your goal is to be relevant globally, then you need to learn how to make loops. In case for the little guys among us, in case you don't know what loops mean, loop simply means a backing track that is made of maybe some percussions or some other elements that enhances your playing. It does not make you lazy. It only gives you room for more exploring, all right? And it helps you to keep to time, all right? I'll take number 2, creating and making backtracks, playing with a backing track loop. That's point number 3 on number 2. Now, a lot of times, I see amazing drummers, but they cannot keep to time. I see drummers who cannot play with a loop. I see drummers that say epa loop. I see drummers playing without an in here, and then they're just playing with a loop coming in from the speakers. It's not professional. It is not professional. You need to be able to hear directly what is coming. For example, you might have a speaker that is panned, Dre, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that is pan mono, and there are some elements in the loop that are panned. Pan simply means assigning a certain level of frequency to either your left ear or your right ear. All right, Zil, am I right? So if you're playing with that, and then you don't have something that enables you, puts you in that stereo mode to hear what is on your left and your right, you're deceiving yourself. So how do you enjoy the music if you're just playing directly? All right, so get used to worship IEMs, in-ear monitors, and all of that. These are basic gadgets. Your own drumsticks, your own drum bags. Some people will go to places and they don't have drumsticks. I've been to places where somebody had to go to a bush close by to go and cut sticks, and I'm like, this is very, very unprofessional. How do you do that? Those things, it could injure you. It could even damage the vellums. I mean, it's not even professional. It does not speak well. So how would you be going to a place and then you are not going with your own kits? I mean, if you have to start saving, go ahead and do that. This is what is called being a complete musician, and not just a drummer. Yes, the drums may be your major, but you're a musician. It means that if you find yourself in any field and you're not playing drums, you can still use the idea and the exposure as a drummer to contribute to the growth and the development of the music. I have 4 minutes left. Let's go to point number 3. Now, locking the music. Now, I'll take this program for example. Now, when we're about to start, where's Akin? Where's Akin? I saw that you just started playing and you were just playing kick, and I kick. I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? Are we doing shout? Are we doing something? I'm trying to remember the style. Okay, I can't remember that. But personally, I feel that I feel like that drummers should know the basic jobs of the kits. For example, we're trying to create an ambience, we're trying to create an atmosphere. I would expect personally, as a musician or as a producer, more of the cymbals and more of the wind chimes. So I feel that when a program is about to start, it's like, when you're writing a song, it's like you're telling a story. You do not just start and go to the end of the story. You start from what inspired the story, what the story is about, how the story went to play, and how you want to end the story. So I feel that when we're about to create an atmosphere, I wish somebody can be on the drums right now. Can I have a drummer be on the drums? I feel like I should have a little bit, it is your show now, let somebody else be on the drums, all right? I feel like I should have some ambience, like the program is about to begin, and then I'm having a bit of cymbals, a bit of, you don't just want to start a program and everybody just goes, what are you doing? I thought you said you used to be a drummer. All right. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel that you should have an idea of what to play at the beginning of the service, at the middle of the service, and after a service. After a service, it is our opinion. It is what we think that everybody's already excited. So we can make noise. We can do a bit of shout. We can do a bit of afro. We can do a bit all of that. But when you're trying to set the atmosphere, you don't set the atmosphere by playing funk. And drummers do that a lot. Any small thing. No, come on. You don't set. I'm not saying that the atmosphere should be style conscious, but I'm saying that there are certain things that appeal more to our emotions than the other. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you need to understand how to lock the music every time. Lock the music and do your job. Thank you, Dami. Happy birthday. All right. So point number 2. Practicing during rehearsal and performance. Notice that I said practicing and I said rehearsal, because practice is what you do when you are alone to get better. Rehearsal is what you do when everybody comes together. Every other band member comes together, all right, and rehearses for a performance, for a ministration, or for an outing. So you don't just get on the drums and start. You don't practice what you have not practiced at your rehearsal. No. So if there is something coming to your head, you must be sure that you have been there, because you cannot take people to a place where you have not been to. So you have tried that chop, you have tried that lick, you have tried that fill. So you don't just want to be on the drums and you're distracting other persons, all right? Distracting other musicians and singers. This happens a lot. The choir is rehearsing, all right? And small thing, the music director is trying to fix the parts and the drummers are making noise on the drums. What? Why? Or the next thing, they have switched. Maybe we were playing something ballad before, and then they have switched to something afro or 3/4 or 6/8. And I must say that too. You cannot be a drummer and you want to tell, and you say you don't want to know anything about time signatures. I see a lot of that. A lot of people do not know the differences between 3/4 and 6/8. A lot of people did not know what irregular time signatures are. That is the main essence of being a drummer. It means that if I'm a singer or I'm another musician and I have a problem with timing and rhythm, I should be able to call you as a drummer and say, okay, explain what a compound time signature means and explain what a simple time signature means. So you're not telling me that let us play and beat toot, bat toot. What is that beat? It has a name. Is it a 3/2 clave or a 2/3 clave or a word? I mean, you need to get exposed to those things. My time is fast spent. I hope I've been able to make some sense. I know I was rushing. I'll make some things that I said about my outro. It's a quote I saw from "The time has miraculously increased." All right, I saw this when I was preparing for this, and it's a quote by Tony Williams, one of the world's popular drummers, and this is what it says. It says that I'm coming 1 minute, please. Okay, it has disappeared. Okay, so like I was saying, and of course we cannot but talk about the spiritual part of it. I mean, I know we are here for a gathering, and that's not basically what we're here, but it's quite important that we know that to grow in anything, we cannot but balance and make a mention of the spiritual part of it. I found what I was looking for. Tony Williams, he gave one of the most important pieces of advice that every drummer should know, and this is how he says it. It says, amateur musicians often try to show off with their skills and chops, whereas the real skill can be shown by being able to play to the music and being able to contribute in a way that improves the music to the best of their ability. All right, best of their ability. So it means that the fact that you're skillful does not make you a good drummer. Except you just want to start doing solos, or you want to start doing tours. But when I'm talking about playing in a band, you need to be able to key to the music. You need to be able to lock to the music. And one of the major things to achieve that is discipline. All right. So permits me to say, but I've played with quite a number of drummers, and I can tell you that the average drummer is not disciplined. The average drummer is not creative. Everything, before you know it, alternative rock, Nathaniel Bassey style, everything. So why don't you look for a different rhythm? If you listen to the likes of this, them, I make attention to Todd Dulaney because they could have 32 bars. They could have 32 bars of the same progression, and you're hearing different rhythm in that 32 bars. But once we start using our cymbals, and with that particular alternative rock, we think that that's the only thing that can bring down the presence of the Holy Ghost. But that's not it. I mean, so as a drummer, you need to be creative. As a drummer, you need to take the lead. As a drummer, you need to let the band know that the intro is coming in on 4 bars, and this is the role that you're doing. A lot of things that I see with a lot of drummers too is that consistency. I mean, the things that you play at rehearsal is totally different from the things that you play on performance day. So the other musicians are like, which song is this? Because that was not the feel that you did at the previous rehearsal. I'm not saying that you should not be creative. I'm not saying that you should not introduce stuff. But I mean, there is always a template. For example, if you're going to do a live recording and we'll be playing and we'll be rehearsing for a year or thereabout, you know, you're supposed to play the same thing, except the band director says, let's put a little switch on this. So imagine if you've rehearsed something for a whole year and then program day comes and you start playing totally different things. All right, so it is important that you're specific. You know your gears and you know what you want to play per time. Not that you're doing guesswork. It is also important that you communicate with other musicians. A lot of people do not communicate with other musicians when they're on the instrument, and I think that is very, very wrong. You need to communicate. Okay, what are we doing here? Are we doing, especially in a place where you don't have a talk back? You need to communicate as professional as possible, and you need to communicate using terms that every other person understands. Every other person in that same understands. My time is fast spent. I hope that I've been able to make some sense. Thank you. All right, so thank you. Now my closing words, it's one quote that I like to say all the time, and it's about you chasing excellence at all times. When we talk about excellence, we talk about the God kind of excellence, all right? And I like to say that excellence will stretch you, but its pains are sweeter than the shame of indolence and mediocrity. That's my time. Thank you very much.